Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Daily Energy. My name is Aurea Eden. I am your host, my friend. The day is Arigenu Vince de Cruz. It is the 7th day of January. Okay, I'm going to read to you my notes because otherwise it'd be like, lights, So today's energy brings with it a highly sensitive and secretive energy. It is energy that, although serious and intense, it is often unconventional. This energy magnifies fields of science and education, the employment fields as well that require use of analytical and communication skills. It should be a day of charity. However, higher positions will often attack lower positions' confidence. People will be more focused on business as energy encourages hard work and abundance. This is a day that dreamers will dream to invent, and the less fortunate feels lonely and cut off from the world. To get the best of results from today's energy, you must not worry about what other people think and realize their opinions of you are just opinions, and everybody has one. Okay, so what's the value of opinions when everyone has an opinion? You know, the value of opinions is just like the value of $1. Okay, I mean, it decreases in value when everybody has one, so to speak. Oh, maybe that was a bad analogy. Okay, but especially if I'm talking about the homeless here. But certain things, when you can get it everywhere, it decreases in value. Okay, it's just like your Bugattis and your Cybertrucks. They increase in value because everyone does not have one. Okay, and so that's why you're valuable and you're unique, is because everyone does not have one of you. Okay, and blessed are those who do. Okay, blessed are those who have a you. And that's when you increase in value to yourself, when you realize that blessed are those who have them a you. That's just like when some people, they cry about losing stuff, and they don't realize that the stuff was never the prize. It was the person that worked hard to get the stuff that was the prize. See, when stuff goes away, you can always replace that, because the same methods you used to get it the first time, you can use the same methods to get it the second time. But if you lose you, then it becomes a problem. Then it's difficult to get it back. Okay, before I go on this tangent, but this is what I'm saying. Opinions of you do not matter. Everybody's going to have an opinion, but other people's opinions of you, they don't matter. Now, it's good to sometimes listen to criticism. As yesterday, we had energy about criticism coming in. And today we also have energy of criticism coming in. Okay. But this is like a snooty energy. This is like an energy that looks down on the homeless. This is like an energy that looks down on those with mental disabilities and disabilities in general. This is a snooty energy today, and I don't like it. I don't like it. Okay. Because here's the thing. You are only one experience away from the reality of their life being the reality of your life. Be cautious about who you put your mouth on, okay? In this season, at this time, and always, okay? I tell you this all the time. You are one experience away from the reality of their life being the reality of your life. You don't know what they've been through. Some of them have been through horrific car wrecks. Some of them had to fight their way just to come out of their mother's womb. Okay, some of them have been through Hurricane Katrinas and some of these hurricanes and these tornadoes and these natural disasters, to where they found themselves on the streets without a home or a place to lay their head. So who are you to look down on them just because you grew up in a family that had two parents, where they grew up in a family that might have had one parent or no parent at all? How fortunate are you? Okay. But here's the thing. Some people think that God loves them and blesses them more because they're in the position that they're in. But what did it say? It's easier. I'm going to probably get this wrong, but it's easier for a camel to enter into an eye of a needle than it is for a rich man to enter into the kingdom of heaven or the kingdom of God, or however I'm getting it wrong. But still, you get what I'm saying? So here's the thing. We know that scripture highlights the fact that it's Jesus, that the one that you call Jesus anyways, that supped amongst the poor, that ate with them, that slept with them, that were friends with them, that called them brothers and sisters, and you call them scoundrels and tramps, dirt and scum. And you think you're going to get away with that? I'm just going to let you think it, my friend. But I'm telling you now, this is not play season. And it's going to be the very ones that you think are not going to make it into the kingdom that's going to make it into the kingdom. But for those of you that do stuff like this, you don't even believe it's the kingdom. So I don't even need to talk to you because you're not even. Yeah. So this is the energy that comes in. So for you that are down on your luck right now, just know that feeling lonely is not the same as being alone. Just because you're lonely does not mean you're alone. And if I tell you, I'm going to tell you this again, and you're going to hear me tell you this many more times. Baby, you are never alone. I know what they told you, okay? But you got your ancestor on this side. You got your God on this other side. You got your friends that you lost on this side that's walked with you. Got guides and teachers with you. You are not alone. That's why you keep hearing these whispers in your ear. That's why you feel these nudges, because you are never alone. I know what they have taught you in this Western society and this Western world, but you are never alone. You are surrounded by your loved ones. You are surrounded by your ancestors and friends. Spirit is a real thing. Reincarnation is a real thing. Okay. All right. So let me get into the predictions. All right. So here are some things that I'm going to tell you that the energy never dies. Okay, that goes along with what I was just saying. Energy does not die. You cannot destroy energy. It only transforms. So thus, this is the reason or the foundation of the daily energy videos. Okay, I read energy. Okay, so it's just like I read energy, I feel energy. That's what empaths do. They feel energy, okay? And so the energy that I am feeling today is, we're still going to get the same, some of the same energy that we've gotten over the last 2 to 3 days. Okay, yesterday we're still going to hear in the news the same thing about, snowstorms, updates on schools, disease, flus, colds. But here today is a little bit different, okay, because I'm getting an increase in that. Now we're going to hear reports in the news more so about emergency departments and medical facilities. Medical doctors are being highlighted in the energy today. Medication. So we may hear something more about education. That's significant too, but more so about medication. Okay, so there might be more findings on medication, that may be able to help people with eating disorders, because I have eating disorders that was in the words of the day yesterday, and it showed up again today. So we may hear about someone coming out into the open and being honest about their eating disorders. This will likely be someone well known, a celebrity of some sort. We'll hear about some kind of unique eating disorder that someone has, that is obviously not good for them, that will possibly cause them to go into the emergency room. So emergency being a word of the day, it is a day of caution to an extent, okay, just like every day. All right, so highlighted also in the realm of the medical area is, I see sore throats, silence, loss of words, speech. So we will be hearing more highlighted in the news, just like the other day with the airways, okay? And I was talking about choking and breathing. Now it's more so dealing with speech, okay? Mute. People who can't speak up for themselves or don't speak up for themselves, or, the it could be something highlighted in the news about someone who's autistic, an autistic boy that could not speak up for himself, and someone took advantage of that, okay? Because I am getting something coming in about silence and the loss of words, okay? Secrecy as well. Okay, we'll have continued reports on the winter snow and new reports on steam, mud, slush, gumbo, and ooze. Okay, so food always tends to show up in my predictions. So now it could be something in the news highlighted about what type of foods that will be able to keep you warm during the wintertime. Some people do chilies and gumbos. And so this might be the reason why I'm seeing gumbo and ooze. Okay, steam. Okay, so something might happen to do with steamboat, steam manufacturing company, steam. Something having to do with steam. We're going to see come up in the news. Mud, something coming up, mudslide, something to do with mud or slush. Okay, we know there's been oil spills, and so the slush could have something to do with the oil spill that's going on, I want to say, in Russia, that I reported to you last night, that has been affecting the animals and the fish in the sea, basically, okay? So continue reports on that. The bottom of the sea. So it could be something about a steamboat being found at the bottom of the sea. We may see something historic happen today, to where, because I've been talking about how the lost is going to be found. We're in that energy still. I think this is the third day of that energy where the lost will be found. And so there's something going on with the bottom of the sea, or we might hear something about news about something at the bottom of the sea, or the bottom of the sea or river or lake is explored or being explored. So it may be a search of some kind occurring over the next 1 to 3 days. Harmful allegations and damaging scandal, court pleas, and cries for help. Okay, so we're seeing an increase in the justice area here with these harmful allegations. We know that there has been situations to where people have been given a cease and desist. So we may hear something more about that, but increase in scandal and allegations. So we're going to hear some news about some stuff that's been done in secret, and see more on court cases being highlighted today, and hear pleas of guilt or pleas of non-guilt. Okay. Cries for help. So, I've been here talking about strange sounds yesterday about there's some kind of reports that it's going to be on strange sounds, people hearing strange sounds. Okay, it's going to be reported in the news. And so this strange sound could be somebody crying for help. And so you definitely want to pay attention. Also highlighted in the news is something about the Bachelor or the Bachelorette, something having to do with the Bachelor, most eligible Bachelor, or something along those lines. We'll see in the headlines in the news today. Technology, computer advancements, and AI, virtual reality, and microchips. All right, so we'll hear more about for sure microchips, because I've seen investments in more microchip manufacturing plants and lands. And so there's going to be a lot coming in for microchips. And so, and artificial intelligence. And so that's what we're seeing here. Furniture store makes headlines, something about couches and what was it, a couch and a bed. Okay, maybe they find a camera in the couch or the bed because we have video energy here. Or they maybe find cameras hidden in couches and beds. Now I'm just, trying to put two and two together with this one. This is not really a prediction, but I'm just trying to work through the thing. So maybe they find at a furniture store, maybe a camera that records women or something sitting down as they sit down in couches and the beds or lay down or something. They find something. Okay. Something to have to do with that. Also with bed being highlighted, and I got rest being highlighted. There's going to be more occurrences of people being reported found unalived in their beds, okay? Because I am getting beds and resting, okay? So I don't know exactly what it is that's going to happen with this furniture store or what we're going to see in the news. Maybe it's a new form of furniture. I don't know, but we're going to see something about furniture coming up in the news on winter gardens and cannabis. Okay. So I'm seeing more on cannabis. And so we may hear something about new findings regarding cannabis or roaches and blunts. Okay. Roaches, smokes and blunts. All right. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Continued power outages and electrocutions. Okay, so if you're dealing with power, or you work for power companies, you want to be cautious. Make sure you're paying attention to what you're doing. Okay, because I'm getting more news about electricity and electrocutions. Okay, something that did not happen yesterday is the solar vehicle stops that I see. I didn't see it at least yesterday, but I didn't see the solar vehicle stops or anything like that in the news. So we can expect that to either happen today or the next day or so. Okay. Also, continued power outages, new government appointments. Okay, so over the last few days, we've been hearing people stepping down. So now we're going to hear more about people who are potentially stepping up, as today is the day for business. You want to make sure you are working hard today, because I'm telling you, your boss is going to be out and about on that flow today. Okay. Business is going to be businessing. Businessing. Okay. Business is going to be businessing. So you want to make sure you're actually doing your work today. Okay. When they walking about and they're like doing their work, make sure they see you doing what you are doing, because I don't want to hear you talking about, I got fired from my job today. Okay, why did you get fired from your job today? Because they saw you not working. Okay, they have not seen you performing like you should be performing. Now, for some of you, I'm not talking directly to you. This is for those who may experience this going forward here. All right, some of you, it has a lot to do with the layoffs that has been happening at some of these manufacturing plants that you have no control over. But some, it's because you're being lazy, baby. Okay, you're being lazy, and you got to go back and you got to remember why you started doing the thing. If you're going to do it, put your heart in. If you can do it, put your heart into it. You can do it, put your heart into it. And you know how they say you can do it, put your back into it. No, you can do it, put your heart into it. Okay, realize what you started doing it for and put forth the effort. Because if you put forth the effort, someone's going to see your effort, and you're going to be commended for that. You're going to be paid for that effort and get a raise for that effort. I'll never forget this. I used to get mad when I was going through my MBA program. And I had that unruly professor. Hey, Dr. C. I had that unruly professor at the time. And boy, let me tell you, he told me the first week of class he wasn't going to give me an A. And so when you tell me something like that, I'm like, okay, I'm going to show you, yeah, you're going to give me an A. Child, he gave me an 89.9. He did everything in his power not to give me that A. And so I was upset with you that first class, Dr. C. I was. But that second class he gave me, he didn't give me nothing, okay? He didn't give me nothing. I worked hard for that, every bit of it, all right? But so I thought that was something. Then I ended up having to take his wife, not knowing that they were tag teaming it at the school. Make a long story short, I was so mad, but he was the hardest professor I ever had. But you know what this man ended up teaching me? He ended up teaching me that I have to do more. Okay? I have to do more. Okay? In order for things to basically be more easy for me going forward. Okay? So it's like, and I say that because after I took his class, all those other classes was like smooth sailing. Okay, passed with flying colors. They was like, "Oh, you write so good." Oh, you write so good. Because what he allowed me to do is be a little bit more concise, you know, and be more analytical in my writing. And so it became easier. And so he was the worst teacher, but the best teacher I have ever had. And so I am grateful to him, even though we went back and forth and we had some words in secret, baby. I shut down the class dinner, Dr. C. Shut it down. Because one thing about me, baby, I will shut it down when it comes down to unfairness. If I see something happening that's unfair, I'm not the type of person that's going to sit back and close my mouth. I've never been successful at that. I have a big mouth, so when it's unfair, I'm going to let you know that it's unfair, okay? And so he was being really unfair and egotistical is what I call it. But his wife, when I took his wife class, I ended up understanding him more better. They were teaching me integrity. Because honestly, I wasn't that well in her class because he wore me out. So in his class, I was like doing the most. But in her class, I started slacking off because I was tired. And I started getting tired. But I stopped showing up to class. And so basically, they were holding accountability. So when I didn't show up to class, she made it known that I didn't show up to class. And so you think that type of stuff is not important, but it is. Okay. It's like I could see how she took so much pride in her work. And I was like, what's it to you that I don't show up to class? I'm grown. Shoot, I'm in my 30s, child. I'm grown. You know, late 30s at that. I'm grown. Shoot. And I think that's what I was focusing on, not knowing how ignorant and foolish that was, because they were teaching me something. Because if I wasn't showing up for me when I wasn't showing up to class. It didn't matter to them or not. I wasn't showing up for me. So I'm so grateful for that lesson. Okay. And so for you, now it's time for me to tell you, show up for yourself by showing up to your job. If you're going to do it right. If you're not going to put your heart into it, go somewhere else. Okay. Find you another job, okay, before it's too late. You know, don't focus on what everybody else got going on because they don't got the same situations that you got going on. They don't got the same bills that you got going on. They might have families. They got a whole husband. You don't got no whole husband. It's you and your kids that you got to provide for, okay? So focus. If you're going to do it, realize what you're doing it for, okay? That's how you get straight to it. Put your plans in action. That's how you're supposed to do it. Okay, so today, even so, you want to go ahead and put in your applications today. You call these people back up, baby. Call them back up. I have never failed to be able to get no job. I'm telling you, okay? I never failed. I will wear them down until they hire me. They'll tell you, She called me every day. She called me every day. I'm just calling to check in on the application I put in. Can I speak to your manager? I'm calling to check in on the application I put in yesterday. Hired on the spot, I'm telling you. Okay, so sometimes you plant the seeds, but you can't just leave those seeds that you're planting. You got to go back and check on your seed and make sure your seed has the proper water, is in the, and getting the proper lighting. Okay? So that it can get the sprouts that it needs. And just know that all of these no's that you're getting, they're just to get you to the yes that matters. They are to get you to the yes that matters. That's what a no is. A no is an opportunity to find a better yes. All right? Did you get that? A no is your opportunity to find a better yes. Okay? So, homeless news, as many homeless are left out in the cold. Okay? So we're going to see news about shelters and poor quality, more on the homeless and conditions of the homeless, hearing more from the homeless perspective, people living out on the streets, reports of people living out on the streets, name calling and high looking down on the low. I told you about that. And that burns me up inside, baby. Burns me up inside. And you really don't want to make me mad. I think a lot of people think they do, but you really don't want to make me mad. And I'm telling you, let me see this. And then y'all will be wondering why this is happening to the world, okay? Because you don't want to make me mad. Because my spirit team don't play. And when I get mad, they get mad, okay? Those with mental disabilities, okay? I talked about them being highlighted in the news, okay? Highlighted in the news, something coming up more about mental disabilities, more about news findings of neglect for those with mental disabilities. Music news remixes, soundtracks, theft, and new releases. So we're going to hear more in the news about something happening with new music being released, but also someone may be taking someone's music and basically not paying them for it. Okay. So we're going to hear something scandalous. Okay. Maybe that's in the realms of music, or something about music being translated into different languages, okay, and being stolen that way, in a sense, okay. Contributions made and what is due being paid. So we're going to see, we're still in that energy of restitution, what did I say? Compensation and basically payment returned. Okay. So this is the energy that we're in for the next few days. And so this contribution and what's due being paid, this could be someone being due credit. Okay, being due credit, getting credit for the hard work that they put in. So could be you getting a raise today, my friend. That's why I said don't slack up. Okay, grease and smear. Something coming up about grease, smear. Okay, grease and smear. All right, smear campaigns. All right, smear campaigns, name calling. That type of thing going on. Neglect and unfair treatment, poor quality. That we'll hear more about news on that. Fishing accidents. Only because I'm getting something about, like the fishing hooks. What do they call the flies? For the fish, that they dress up and everything. I'm getting something about that. So it could be an accident with that. And, for those who are cold water fishing, that type of thing. I've been getting a lot about fish over the last few days. Continued reports on abuse, misconduct, and in particular those regarding the less fortunate. Emus will make headlines today. Something coming in about an emu or an ostrich, a large type of bird. Reports of people found dead in bed, jobs and employment opportunities. So that's what I have for you today. I love you. Google one. Take care of yourself and each other's. Hearts go out. You get a heart. You get a heart. You get a heart. Hearts go out. Hearts go out. Bye.